Welcome to another CityBilly DIY project. In this video, I'm going to show you how we made this hidden speakeasy bar in the middle of our house. Special thanks to Binford Tools for sponsoring this DIY video. Before we get started, I want to get you caught up on how we got to this point.
2 years ago, my wife and I found this crazy opportunity to buy a dilapidated estate on an incredible piece of property. The house needed a ton of TLC, but we decided to bet on ourselves, and we're currently in the never-ending process of turning it into our dream home. Part of the house had this oversized party room. It was roughly 22 feet by 23 feet. The original owners used it for recruiting parties for their home-based business. We decided to turn this room into our office, but we didn't need it to be 500 square feet. We ultimately decided to make the room 14 by 14. Instead of tearing out the bar, we walled it in to make a hidden speakeasy. We enlisted the help of some child laborers and began demoing the room. Quick break to pose for a picture. The wall on the right is load-bearing, so it had to stay. We removed the sliding glass door, so weird, and moved that wall in 8 feet. The load-bearing wall was shortened to meet the new office wall, and we installed a 21-foot steel I-beam in its place. Then we framed in the new rooms. I made sliding barn doors to finish off the outside of the office.
Alright, now that you're caught up, I'm going to show you how this bar came together.
Our speakeasy vision was starting to take shape. Then I had a little lumberjack mishap and was useless for the summer. Thankfully, my father-in-law was more than happy to help out. He and my wife got the room insulated and drywalled while I laid on the couch. The boys were a big help too. We painted the new walls, but we wanted the original walls to be brick for a more industrial look. We were going to install thin brick, and then we realized how expensive it is. So we decided to get creative. The living room that connects to the office had floor-to-ceiling brick surrounding the fireplace. We had already decided that we were going to do something different with that wall, and we still had the old bricks laying around. We decided we would try to repurpose the brick for the speakeasy. My wife spent literally days outside cutting the front and back faces off the bricks. This wet saw from Harbor Freight held up surprisingly well considering the abuse that we put it through. My youngest was happy to help in any way that he could, and so was my mother-in-law. We used this concrete stain from Bear to give the bricks a fresh look. After that labor of love was finished, it was time to attach the bricks to the wall. We used heavy-duty tile adhesive to attach the bricks. The rectangle openings were left for liquor shelves. I built 2 shelves out of pine boards and iron pipe. I have a separate video that goes into more detail on how I made these. I attached the liquor shelves to wall studs with 4-inch lag screws. We used acrylic mortar repair from Cleat to fill in the mortar joints between the bricks. This stuff comes in a tube, which made the least mess and applied fairly easily. Then I built a 35-bottle wine rack to cap the end of the cabinets. I have another video dedicated to this build as well. I installed the wine rack at the end of the cabinets. Then we got the counters and sink installed. My wife finished the brick and mortar, and we installed the lights. We went with these industrial-looking wall sconces with Edison bulbs for the main lighting in the room. There's also some recessed lighting in the ceiling if we need it to be really bright. Then it was time to lay the floor. We put down luxury vinyl tile, or LVT, on the entire main floor. We continued that into the Speakeasy. This stuff is called Antique Oak by Mohawk. It's a free-floating floor that clicks together. Once the floor was installed, I installed the hidden door. This type of door is typically called a Murphy door, which is actually a brand name. Kind of like how everyone calls tissue paper Kleenex. We bought our door from Hideaway Doors. This is a fully functioning, pre-hung door that is disguised as a bookcase. It should blend in perfectly in the wall of our office. You can pay to have the door finished ahead of time, but we decided to save the money and do it ourselves. I framed in the back of the door with matching 1x3 oak boards. We bought a retired whiskey barrel to use as a small table. The seller cut ours in half so we could have it sit flush with the wall. I attached the barrel to the wall using a French cleat. If you're not familiar with how a French cleat works, you basically rip a 2x4 in half lengthwise with a 45-degree cut. The bottom piece attaches to the studs in the wall, and the top piece attaches to the back of whatever you're mounting, which was the back of our barrel in this case. Then you just set the barrel on the wall mount and you have a secure attachment. Then we installed oak baseboards. We had to decide if we should stain the baseboards to match the cherry cabinets or the dark walnut floor. We ultimately decided to match the floor. And this is the final product. We think it's a cool room to escape to and lose track of time. Don't forget to check out the in-depth videos on the wine rack and liquor shelves. Thanks for watching.